Okay, for this weekend we're just going to do an update on the Power Stroke. As you can see, we got the bed painted. From my last video, all I had done was shot the black and the silver on the cab, silver on the bed too. But we got it bolted on, got our fuel caps on, and our hose is hooked up. That one cap is not tight. Need to get me a new hose there. I ordered that one because I could not find my original one. Maybe I cut it. I can't remember. I took it apart so long. But yeah, that there's just something got smeared on it. But the bed turned out pretty good. Right now it's dusty and dirty, and you almost can't tell. Maybe it looks better on camera than it does in real life. I don't know, or worse. But unbelievably, since I did the two-tone separately, they've lined up pretty good. Which before I did all the body work, if you remember, for those of you who have been watching me for a long time, I did line up all the body panels and everything. Bed too. You remember I did a lot of work making this bed from an 88 fit this 94. They're supposed to be slightly different, but honestly it's the same body lines. I don't know if that is the reason I had to do what I had to do to make it look right. But if you remember, it was like it was too narrow for the cab, even though it's the same body lines as the original 94 bed. But we still have to do the hood, fenders, cowl, and doors. And speaking of doors, getting ahead of myself, and I still got to buff it. I'm going to wait till I get it all assembled though. I'm trying to hold off on putting trim on. I would love to put trim and tail lights on, but it's best to leave it off until I do wet sand and buff the parts that I feel like I need to do. But on the doors, before I stopped working on it, I had some very tiny low spots that I filled and never blocked down. So I sanded them down, reprimered it, got a little piece of something there in my primer. And I switched to use that same gun that I painted the clear with the 1.5 tip, and my primer sprays a lot smoother now. I still need to put a guide coat on top of this, but I did that last weekend. I'm going to give these, since the weather's cooling, about 3 weeks for the primer to stretch and cure. Probably could do it sooner, but I have experienced painting something like a few days after I sprayed primer, and even though it blocked down good, it did kind of shrink after I sprayed the paint on it, and showed some stuff. Some stuff showed through that I thought I had blocked out. So here's the hood. Underside is painted. I guess the way I'm going to go about doing that is to paint the bottom first, and then tape it off, flip it, and paint the top. Takes a little longer that way, but this is a very heavy hood. I thought about hanging it off of these right here, but I'm just afraid something will go wrong and I'll drop it and mess up my body work, and I don't want to redo my body work again. I've already dropped this hood once. So that's about all there is on the Power Stroke. Trino, haven't done much, but we're going to do a startup on the 64 Fairlane. I don't know if my batteries are up high enough yet. I haven't started it since, when was it, May or June? I did a video on it. Thought I was going to try to do some occasional racing in between working on the truck. And with the whole COVID-19 crap, I didn't want to deal with it. I could have raced, but I'm kind of glad I got done what I got done on the truck. And hopefully, after the election, things will go back to more normal. This whole scamdemic won't be so much of a scam. But 67%. That may or may not be accurate. I do not like this charger. Sometimes I just wiggle these and get a different reading. See what it says. See, well, just shook the ground. 70%. It might start on that. It could be inaccurate too. I don't like this charger. But remember when I started, what I don't remember is whether I changed the antifreeze or not. I think I decided to wait on that just to see what was going to happen. Just pull the hood off and take a look. Looks green to me. Good, I didn't change it. Or drain it out and put straight water in it, which you have to do to rinse the drag strip. Well, let's turn on the fill pumps. I don't know if my back battery switch is on yet or not. I'll chance it and see. It's on. Don't smell anything. Don't see anything. Couple squirts. See what happens. I bet it'll kick right off if I got enough battery. I almost didn't have enough battery. Like I said, I haven't started it since May or June. Not bad though. So I just wanted to fire it up one more time. I might do it more than one more time before it turns super cold. I usually like to, if it's set for a long time, I like to undo the valves. That's it's hard on your valve spring, especially when you got roller cam. They use a lot of spring pressure. A lot of builders recommend that you undo all your valves, at least the ones that are open, before you store it for the winter. It really takes the life out of the valve springs. Might be true, might not. It's something I always try to practice. Because someone told me to. That's about it. But really the plan for this weekend is we'll let that run and charge up. I'm gonna finish sanding the hood. I'm gonna get all my guide coat off, so I know I got all my low spots out. This here is spatter. I had a different color primer in with my black, so those are not pits. But I'm gonna finish blocking it down with 400, get rid of my guide coat. But I'm not gonna go over it with the 600 until I get the other side painted. And then I'll flip it, and then I'll go back over with the 600 because I will get overspray on what I sanded. And I'm not going to do a video of all that. I might do a video of the spraying. I might do that for the end of this video because I just think it'd make a boring video to show more sanding. That's the thing. You can work all day and it don't look like you got anything done. Sanding is not exciting. So we'll do that. And I don't know if I got my tractor keys out here or not. I would like to do a cold start on the tractor. I haven't started in a while. Hang on. Alright, my thermostat still works. It kicked on right at about 150, so 140 degrees. So I'm going to pull it outside before we start up the other stuff. When I first started up, the volt meter or volt gauge was hanging around the 11 volt range, and then I let it run for about 2,000 RPM for a few minutes. Before I even got out of the car, it was up to 12, then 13, then it made it to 14. As you can see, it was around 13 at idle. It warmed up, got up to a faster idle. See if the battery turns over a little better now. It's charging. Alternator, or the batteries are, I guess the alternator's charging good, but we need to put something in these, yeah, we need to recharge these batteries for sure. So I'm going to hook the charger up and we'll start some other stuff up. Got to start without charging the batteries. I turned the fan off and had just enough juice to get the fire. Thought it'd be easier to charge it in here than out there. Okay, hooked the charger up, and after running it, and right now I'm letting the fans run until the thermostat kicks it off. And battery is only 48%, so probably about time to replace these. They will stay in here throughout the winter. If I were to use them more, they'd probably be fine, but next summer, I'll probably be getting some more batteries. I would like to switch to the kind I put in the Torino. Those things are just, they last forever, and you can't kill them. So, let's see. I haven't started the tractor. when did I? It might have been July. No, September. Started in September. Let's see if she fires off. I did have to get another battery, 6 volts. Might as well plan on replacing them about once every 2 or 3 years. Maybe if I put a maintainer on it, lasts longer, or if I put a 12 volt. 12 volt would last forever on this thing because it don't take much to turn this little engine over. Let's see what she does. Come on. Don't want to start. Fail. I don't think it's getting fire. The switch needs a new switch too. Now it's flooding. I don't think it's getting any fire. Let's see. You can't, when you pop the cap off of this, you got a little clip, big cover for the rotor. I don't think it's getting fire. Not much room in here. Amazing how I filled this 20 by 30 or 18 by 30 shed, isn't it? I thought I was going to have all kinds of room in here. Sometimes, well, it's dry in there. Let's see. Okay, sometimes all you got to do when it's doing that is get this cap off and turn the ignition on and just kind of arc those points, and it kind of helps. It's dry in there. Let's see. Yeah, you're getting some spark. Battery, if the battery is just the slightest bit low on these things, the juice it takes to turn the starter kind of not gives it, it doesn't leave enough left over for a hot enough spark, which is why I need to switch this thing over to 12 volt, and that would eliminate all of this. Sometimes that's all you gotta do. I bet I'll have to jump it or put a charger on it. Don't want to call this a fail. It's not that cold. Let's see what happens after I did that. Sometimes that's all it takes. Run for a little bit. Something I have been wanting to do is switch this over to 12 volt, get rid of that positive ground setup. Too many other stuff, too many other things going on, as you can see. I'm just determined to finish this truck, so everything else is going to wait unless it's an emergency. So let's see if the 66 will start now. Yeah, we need to let that tractor run for a little bit. Need to start everything up more often. 66 always starts. Don't make a liar out of it. I need a set of points for this. I had to, it was running funny. It started, but it was running funny. And I had to play with the points on it. Let's see what happens. There she goes. Had to crank it a little bit. I don't know if you can even hear it cranking with the tractor running. They're both running. Probably hard to tell with both of them. The tractor's so noisy. Now the truck, I am noticing, it could be the points or it might be in the carburetor. Carburetor's probably never ever been apart on this thing. At least not since I've had it for sure. It don't look like it's ever been apart. But get where it's kind of got a miss in it unless you pull the choke halfway out. But last time I did that, I fooled with the points and it got better. I just cleaned them. They need replaced. They can make it act that way. But just no time to fool with it and work on the other stuff. Like I said, one project at a time. So I'm gonna let both of them run. They need to run. So I'm gonna try to finish sanding this hood, and this video will continue tomorrow, and I'll show you a little bit of spraying, even if it's just on the back side of this hood. Okay, it is Sunday, October 18th. As you can see, I got a sketchy little setup here, but it's not going nowhere. I've tested it. Got it hung by come-alongs because this hood's kind of heavy. And this way I will be able to shoot the whole thing top and bottom without having to do like I said I was going to do at first, which would be paint the bottom first. I'd have to let it dry probably 3 or 4 days, and then I would have to tape it off, flip it, then shoot the top. This way I can do it all at once. It won't be super easy to get under here and cover it really well, but it's not that picky because I'm hopefully going to order a new piece of insulation to go over that. Hopefully there's a factory replacement, not exact OEM, but I'm sure somebody makes it. If not, I will make something, some kind of heat shield thing. It kind of protects your heat on the hood, heat from the turbo, protects the hood. But first thing I'm going to do, a lot of guys say to do this, I just started doing it myself on this truck, is before I spray any paint, I'm going to give it one thin coat of epoxy primer, and then you can just spray your base coat, which here's my base, my activator, that mixes 1-to-1, this also mixes 1-to-1. But I'm just going to give it one thin tack coat of that, about 3 coats of base, and about 2 coats of the clear. This hardener right here is for hotter temperatures. Luckily I found some more of this stuff on eBay. And it's kind of hard to buy this online. One website carries it. It's like a auto paint supply store. But you have to be a licensed painter. You have to give them information proving that. So the guy on eBay will just send it to you, no questions. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and set my camera up, mix that up 1-to-1, mix up just a little bit. I got some new mixing cups right in here. Got some new filters. Also got some other filters that I haven't used up yet. And let's get it going. Okay, so there's just basically what I was shooting for with the epoxy primer. Just kind of seals everything up. And that's, as you can see, it's already dry, and I can start spraying my base immediately on it. I'm going to change my camera angle where you can see me shooting the top after I mix my base coat. Okay, one thing happened I didn't like. Got a big drop of water. It came off of my hose, I believe. First I thought it was paint dripping out of the cup, but I believe it's water. A couple big pieces of lint, could be possibly dog hair, got in there. Even though it's wet in here and raining outside, something always seems to find its way on it. I can wait for this to set up for about 15-20 minutes, and it will be dry enough to sand those big pieces of lint or dirt out of there. Works good when you get water on it. Watch this. Tissue. Now after that dries, I can sand that down smooth, and I'll probably give it 2 more coats after this. I see a scratch here I need to get rid of. The first coat kind of shows everything you need to take care of. Okay, so we ended up putting 4 coats of base on it. Pretty much all the imperfections that happened in the first coat, can't really see them. Now there is one spot right here. I don't know why that won't come out, but it will, but it won't. I mean, but I may just have to live with it. I mean, I blocked it back down after the second coat dried. It's still showing up like a little low spot in there. We'll see what it looks like under the clear, but it's something I may have to live with. You know, I did everything that you should do to make sure everything's flat, but it's still showing up, and I don't know why. But As you can see, not a lot of dirt. Now still, it looks kind of glossy because it's still wet. I laid that last, the fourth coat on pretty heavy. Bottom looks like it covered pretty good. So I'm going to be happy with it. I'm going to get out here. All the overspray isn't gone yet. I'm taking breath through my mask and then take it off when I talk. So shouldn't be breathing this stuff. So I'll film spraying the clear, and hopefully 3 coats of clear, and we'll be done with this. Okay, so there's another piece painted and ready to go on the truck. Of course, I'll wait 3 or 4 days before I even fool with it, but it's already dry to the touch. And as anything else I shoot in the garage, not perfect. Slow spot here. I don't know what's going on. It almost looks like there was a crack under there. That bothers me. I'm just going to have to live with it until it gets bad, if it does get any worse. But a big piece of something flew out there. I don't know what that is or where it came from. I think I'm going to have to try to... It could be coming from my furnace. I've had to turn it on to get it up to temperature in here, because it's in the 60s today. And it was cold last night. But got 3 runs. One right there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I can see it in the screen. One there. That's not bad. It will probably settle down as this cures. You can touch it, but it's not hard. So that'll flow down a little bit, but not much orange peel in it. And I got a run there. That happened on the first coat of clear. A little bit of spatter there. I don't know if there's moisture in the gun. But, you know, I know I keep repeating myself on it, but that's why you wet sand and buff. So, but I can bolt this on, pull it out in the sunlight, and it'll look good like it is. That one right there, just in case someone decides to throw a fit over runs. Now this car right here, this whole side ran on me, and I had to wet sand it down and spray some clear. It was shot with enamel, and which that was a long time ago, but that whole side ran. It was bad. You can still kind of see it if you really look right there. But like I said, you know, when things don't go perfect when you paint them, you know that in the end you can always fix one way or another. Underside, only gave it 1 coat of clear. Turned out pretty good. It's kind of hard to shoot it good and wet under here. It's hard to cover everything, because when you're shooting upside down, you're tipping your gun and it starts sucking air. But yeah, hood looks pretty good. So I'm going to call that a video. This one might be longer than my usual ones. I just thought I'd do a little something different. There's a mixture of stuff in this video. So anyway, till next time. Don't know if I'll make another video next week or not, but stay tuned for more, because I'm going to stay busy on this truck till it's done this time.